Do you ever think about how it's actually pretty offensive anytime an actor plays Abe Lincoln?
Why?
Because John Wilkes Booth was an actor.
Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
The Bottle Episodes.
The Civil War defined America, both the good and the bad. It was the crossroads of our being, and it was a hell of a crossroads. Who would have thought there was a comedy in all that? Well, we did. We were fortunate to acquire an extraordinary historical document, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. The P isn't silent. Chronicles the life and times of a member of President Lincoln's staff at the height of the Civil War. Pfeiffer, an English nobleman, claimed that he and his trusted manservant were forced by rival noblemen to flee to America due to a dispute over the Queen. All 5 of them. The rest, as they say, is history. Everything that follows actually happened. You can't prove that it didn't.
Welcome to Bottle Episodes. My name's David Piccolomini.
I'm Daniel Crow.
This week we have a guest.
Oh, is it not loud enough? Chris
yeah,
Faga?
Sorry, I turned you down because of your nose noises.
I'm better now.
Yeah, welcome to Bottle Episodes. This is the podcast where we watch a bad television show and then we watch the pilot and the top-rated episode on IMDb.
You want to know another offensive Abraham Lincoln fact?
I would love to.
Does it involve him vampire hunting?
No. Well, he was a wrestler also, but
Yeah.
beyond that, so the reason why Black
Beyond the
History
mat.
Month...
Okay.
The reason why Black History Month is in February is because it was originally Negro History Week, and they wanted it between Lincoln's birthday and Frederick Douglass's birthday. And it's kind of weird that, like, he did free the slaves, but he is still a white guy, and that's why they put it.
They put
in
it
February.
in between
The week was supposed to be between...
Frederick Doug because they were like, who are the most important people in
Yeah.
African American?
Yeah, but this was also like 70 years after the Civil War. They could have found a guy.
Yeah, that you're right. They could have, but they were
Yeah.
like, this was just one of those times where like, well, listen, it works out. The timing works out too
Yeah,
well.
this just works out fine. Yeah.
Diego, you trying to think of other people's birthdays?
Not really. I was just thinking. I was thinking. I'm glad they expanded it from a week because they should get more than sharks.
Yeah.
I think they've earned
That
it
was
a little
actually
bit
the
more.
reasoning. They
Yeah.
created Shark Week, and they're like, we're going to give black
You gotta
people
bump it up a few weeks.
To be fair, black people never get killed by sharks.
You never see that in Jaws.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
actually-
the one horror movie where the black guy doesn't die first. Is
Yeah.
Jaws like?
Well, also Deep Blue Sea was the first. Wasn't that the first movie where the black guy lives all the way to the end?
well, not ever.
The first?
Well, the first
Think Sydney-
big budget horror movie.
Oh yeah, maybe. No, Night of the Living Dead. Doesn't he live to the end? He's like the main character.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I'm glad we're here already.
Mhm.
That's really what I... Okay,
Hey,
guys.
none of us made a can't swim joke, all right?
I'd like to imagine that no black people were killed in Jaws because that town didn't let them live
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It was
It's
redlined.
probably yeah. That felt like a very red line town, and they were punished by God in the form of a giant shark for it. Okay.
By the way, I don't want to tell anyone, even as we're saying all of this, it's less offensive than The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm
Top
glad.
to bottom.
I was gonna say I'm glad we're really putting in perspective how bad the show.
It's
Man.
the worst thing that happened because of the Lewinsky scandal. Like, even still today, people make hacky Lewinsky jokes. You'll see it on TV sometime. You're like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
But at the time when it came out, that was all that was on television. Every late night host, nonstop Lewinsky scandal jokes. Every sitcom had a bunch, but I feel safe in saying that this show, using it as a metaphor to prop up horny Abe Lincoln, is the worst example of any Lewinsky joke.
And that includes like the collective history of Jay Leno monologue
Yes.
jokes.
Jay Leno, I owe you so many apologies. It could have been so much worse.
Is this the whitest show to ever air on UPN 9?
Probably.
It's crazy that this was like every piece of this is bad. We haven't really said what it's about.
Oh yeah, we should.
It's the misadventures of Abraham Lincoln, his loony associates, and the only sane man among them, the president's black butler, Desmond Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
It is pronounced Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
It's spelled like Pfeiffer, like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. I think that was their one joke.
But it's not, here's the thing. The first episode, the pilot, was not intended to be the first episode. So that joke doesn't get explained. Everyone's just calling him Pfeiffer and not acknowledging it in the first episode. We're in the middle of a joke that we didn't get set up.
I saw, okay, and this may have been a YouTube video's dumb joke, but when I was like going through stuff to like find out more about this, they were saying that one of the directors early on was mispronouncing it and they thought it was funny. So then they kept it.
That's so funny. You know what's weird is did you guys look up the creators of this show at all?
Yeah.
It's crazy that they did Kingpin and they seem to have met in the writer's room of the Golden Girls. And then they both did other stuff that was like Kingpin is like this humor, but done well.
Pretty universally, every time we do a show, the people involved have done really good things outside of it.
Really? Well,
Because
I guess
in order to get a show, you have to have a track record of some success.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then they give someone a chance, and it turns out that person was crazy the whole time.
Well, they did get to do other things afterwards.
Yeah, Kingpin came out after this, I believe.
Actually, no, Kingpin's 2 years before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Desmond Pfeiffer is 1998.
The other thing you have to, I mentioned briefly earlier, though, was the Lewinsky scandal really did just cause a brain rot amongst every comedy writer in America.
I mean,
they couldn't write about anything else
history
for about
repeats
5
itself
years.
every 20 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you get this. The president got a blowjob.
That's what happened?
Yeah, that's what
I didn't know. Oh, what?
I don't think
She
you
was
get
kind
it.
of fat.
Oh, my God. Never mind. These jokes were all warranted. What a rich, deep field of jokes.
Like the leader of the free world.
Oh,
Someone
no.
put their lips around. It was not his wife. I know what you're thinking.
This is the craziest thing I've heard of since O.J. Simpson going on trial.
Oh man, if you're They also, by the way, the people who did this also did I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry and Men in Black 2.
Men in Black 2 is... Oof.
Didn't Alexander Payne write the first draft of I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry or something?
That is sort of.
But it was a very different movie, and then it got rewritten.
Yeah, he wrote like a thing about, he technically wrote a story about two men like getting gay married for health insurance.
Yeah.
But it was like a tale about like two men like navigating the world of prejudice.
Much like The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
So starring Chi McBride, who, just workhorse.
Yeah, he went on.
I
to
don't
do,
like
great
I don't
stuff.
like using the phrase workhorse in the context of this show.
That's
because
very
one of the
fair.
controversies is people protested the show before it even came
They
out.
call him the Mandingo of character actors.
Yeah, they people were protesting the show beforehand because they thought it was like I guess it was initially planned that he would be a slave, but then they changed it.
Well, he's
And they
a
just made
British
him a
nobleman,
butler.
right? Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I guess it was the original plan. They're like, no, wait, guys. He's actually above them.
Yeah.
He should be rich.
He's literally living a Nigerian prince scam. I am stuck here in America away from my money. If you'll help me, can I? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Lincoln's White House is probably the safest place for a rich black guy at that time.
Well, I guess in D.C.
Yeah, or even just the North.
Yeah.
In that, but also
Canada.
at that point, yeah. I don't understand how you're a noble person in that time, like an English noble person. You go and somehow get an audience with the president, and the best you get is servant.
It would be nice if we saw the episode that explained what happened to get to that point. Why would they not air that as their first episode?
Wait, do they do that? 'Cause I watched, when we were supposed to do this a couple months ago, I watched like 3 of these. Do they ever explain how he ends up being the butler?
So they were going to, but that episode was shelved and never got released. Because I think it's because they use certain words. I forget what it was, but it was like they used a word or something, and everybody was like, "Yeah, no."
I mean, I could guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's say them out loud. Let's hear those guesses. Sponsors, come our way.
But it was along those lines where it like
The things that they let through really makes you question what the line was for UPN.
Oh, I really think that this show is the reason we're not allowed to fat shame anymore. Honestly.
You think this is the show that did it?
That lady wasn't fat. The lady who plays Mary Todd Lincoln?
Oh, no. Actually, you're in the other side of this. It's so much worse. That's how bad anorexia culture was.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Where that woman looked
It's the fat lady. Yeah,
that's what they thought it was.
Well,
yeah.
that's why I think it went so far the other way.
You think this is just another pendulum?
Yeah, well, I think that's actually worse than because, like, think about it. The beauty standards are worse now with, like, Instagram and stuff, but you don't see any, like, medium-sized ladies being called fatso on television anymore.
Not until they let me on. Get me on there. Let me at them. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, so they will. I'm trying to look it up to see if they have anything about the actual thing, and they do not. They will not say what word or what was controversial exactly. It was just deemed too controversial, so they switched episodes.
You think it's not the N word? You think what are the
No,
odds?
I don't think they would have gone that far.
I think we're gonna. I think it's probably one of the softer iterations of the N word.
It's something that still Chi McBride would have agreed to be on camera for.
I mean, I feel like he probably.
I don't know. He was in Boston Public, and we hear what people in Boston say.
That is true. Yeah. It's also possible that it's something to do with Lincoln, and they're like, you can't do that with Lincoln on TV.
Oh yeah, there is a possibility.
And
I don't know, man. They have him being a foot guy.
Yeah,
and,
Lincoln
like,
is a horny monster in this show.
That's I think
This is the whole show.
That's the weirdest thing is because when we should point out that like we're doing some of these jokes that are kind of poking fun in that direction, but in reality, not a lot of race jokes in the show.
No,
like very few at all.
Well, he's the only character that's not a buffoon.
Right. Well, which is how you can. That's the only way you can
Desmond,
do a show
not
like
Lincoln,
this.
by the way.
Yeah. Desmond, Chi McBride's
Oh yeah,
character.
Lincoln, absolute buffoon in the show.
But well, in every
He has a slave.
Desmond has a slave. Yeah.
He's like a manservant.
Yeah, but so is Desmond.
Yeah. Can I just say, I can't believe that they also got Daniel Day-Lewis for this show. It's crazy. He just loves playing Lincoln. Anything you put him, he's there.
No, it was Dan Florek from. He's from what's it called? What's that? Law and Order.
Okay, so only Dans are allowed to play.
Only Dan.
They're allowed to play Abe Lincoln.
I liked Uncle Leo as the gay tailor. Uncle Leo.
Oh
from
yeah.
Seinfeld.
This, I mean, it's very much. It's Lincoln. It's Chi McBride playing Desmond Pfeiffer and his manservant who's a white dumb British guy working in the Lincoln White House as servants.
But they're not. We never see them do servant things.
Well, he makes his manservant do a lot of stuff.
That's true. But then Desmond's whole job is basically walking in when Lincoln does something horny and going, "Mr. President, you can't be horny. You're the president." It's the sort of humor that would get rejected from a New Yorker cartoon. It's what it is.
What happens if Lincoln was as horny as Clinton?
Wow, I'll give you 13 episodes. We'll only air 8. You don't need to say any more. You've hit gold.
You've hit solid 8 episodes.
It's just like so misguided.
I mean,
who
I'm gonna
wants
throw this.
this?
I'm gonna throw this out there. This is better than any episode of Home Improvement,
Huh?
which was a huge show at the time.
I at least understand the audience for Home Improvement.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no audience for this. This is Married with Children humor, and you're not going to get those guys to watch a period piece.
If you heavily dosed Ken Burns with Viagra and Molly, he might enjoy this. Other than that, I don't know who would watch this.
Do you think Ken Burns jerks off
To this only.
But do you think he's ever gone off to marry Todd
He
Lincoln?
comes when he thinks baseball.
Yeah.
He's got the opposite problem.
Good joke. You've done it. You found the right joke for this situation. Well done.
Knocked it out of the park.
I'm not even going to try another one. You did it.
Okay. So let's talk about, speaking of horny Lincoln, let's talk about this episode, which it's Abe Online, AOL.
Whoa, oh man, turns out this show's good. I didn't know they had that up their sleeve.
The line he's on is the telegraph line, and Abe is sexting with a mystery lady. Because he can't get sex from anyone. And by from anyone, we mean Mary Todd Lincoln.
Well, he doesn't want sex from her. She's his pet.
She's throwing it. Yeah. Throwing it at him.
I don't want to make assumptions, but I think Abe Lincoln could have got sex from anyone he wanted during his presidency.
Probably.
I mean, especially post-Civil War.
This is during.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he doesn't actually live long after the Civil War.
I mean, he could have been the first president to get voluntary pussy from a black woman.
That's true. He was the first.
I'm
Well,
running.
no, no,
I'm
no,
running through them all in my head, and I'm trying to think like, is there
Well,
another
he would have to be
scenario?
the
No,
first
no, no,
one.
no. Well, no.
Well, no, there were
slavery,
black
Yeah,
people that
that's-
weren't slaves
that's
prior
true.
to the end
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Civil
yeah.
War.
That's true.
I guess I'm just not enough of a history buff to debunk what you just said.
I mean, except for there are plenty of states where it was already illegal.
Yeah, miscegenation was illegal, like, right? For a long time, even after, in the South at least, after,
Oh, you mean to like get married or
I think, just fornicate.
really?
Yeah,
I would believe it.
I believe so. I'm not positive.
Let's ask Ken Burns. Call him up. Call up Ken.
Tweet him.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm like, man, we do need a producer to fact check these statements specifically.
I don't think that's Googleable.
Honestly, I don't think this episode's going out. I think we've crossed a few lines, and I now know why they didn't air certain episodes of Desmond Pfeiffer because you keep getting stuck in all these. Oh man,
That was the problem. Is they were like, look, but that is, I think that's the magic of the show is they literally are just like, look how horny Lincoln is.
Yeah.
It's just like, why did they need to throw in this weird like Civil War angle into it?
I think just to get drunk Ulysses S. Grant in it.
Well, one, he's probably the best part of the show.
Yes.
we're all in agreement. That guy playing Grant's doing a not bad job.
He's having fun in a room where no one's having fun. Kelly Connell of Picket Fences and Cocktail. Yeah. Just coming out. He's fun. He is fun in the show. He's drunk. He's doing just like shtick.
That is true. No one else in the show seems to be having fun. Everyone else seems to be embarrassed to be in the show, and I get it.
Yeah.
When they have to go talk to all their other actor friends, and they're like, "Oh, what are you on?" And like, "I'm the Secret Diary of Desmond." What? I'm Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. Why is it pronounced that way? What's it about? It's a horny Lincoln show.
You know how everybody's doing jokes about Clinton getting a blowjob? Well, us too. Putting the top in top hat.
I hope they only paid for this show in $5 bills and pennies. I hope that was the whole budget.
Okay, so what else happened in this first episode? We haven't even talked about it at all. He's using the telegraph line to talk to this mystery lady. And
So wait, isn't there like some hidden treasure in the White House? In
Yeah,
this
that's
first
how it
episode?
opens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also like probably one of the worst time jokes I've ever seen in a show ever, where he's just like, opening this requires a certain thing. Give me that fucking brick. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like there's not even a beat.
No, they're not. There's no setup. It's all they're just trying to pay off.
Yeah.
And it's not good. So yeah, Desmond, he's reading a map to find a secret treasure in the White House so he can make money, so he can have money to go pay off his gambling debt so he can go live in England again. And his dumb manservant guy is trying to read the map and keeps putting his hand on the stove. Get it? 3 times, I think they go back to the hand on the stove.
If they'd done it a fourth, it would have been funny. That was what was missing. They just need one more hand on the stove.
Also, I do want like his hand to just be like cauterized. Like burns are so painful
For hours.
for days.
Yeah.
There's a burn on my hand from like 3 weeks ago that there's still a spot on it that just hasn't. Cause I grabbed like a pan that
Oh,
was
and it's
like
still like if you touch like something, like if you touch something hot again or something like salt gets on it or something, it still kind of burns a little.
well, no. At this point, it just feels like a piece of me is missing. But
By the way, from when this show comes out, of all the great comedic British actors that would have loved to be on a American TV show to try to break into that market,
yeah,
they get just some random guy. Go for Steve Coogan. What are you doing here?
Steve Coogan had better sets.
There were plenty of people that would have been trying to break into America at that time.
Oh, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Also, I do like Chi McBride just doing a weird British accent.
He's
like,
not
half-
barely he doesn't even sound British. He sounds like he's from Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, it's that weird, like half pretentious accent. It's just
Transatlantic.
oh, I'm doing an accent,
Yeah.
sort of, kind of. I love adventure.
How long into receiving their checks do you think everybody realized that, oh, this isn't actually
You think they got paid for this?
yeah, absolutely.
I think UPN didn't pay anyone.
Oh man, that's the most racist thing that's been said on the entire episode.
I think UPN's management was white.
Probably.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer actually produces a lot of those shows.
On UPN?
Yeah, like he produced like Girlfriends in the Game. GramNet
really?
does a lot of those black sitcoms.
That's wild.
Yeah.
He's so racist.
I think he just writes checks. Like but it is all GramNet. And I was like, wait a second. Is that Kelsey Grammer? And I looked it up and it was like, oh shit.
That's crazy. Like Kelsey Grammer is like a full-on heavy-duty Trump supporter.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Didn't they just reboot Frasier? I can't believe he got a reboot as a Trump supporter.
Well, but here's the thing: is you don't know that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I feel like most celebrities that are like hardcore Trump supporters, you find out real quick.
No, Kelsey Grammer is very public about it.
Mm.
Toss that into your eggs and scramble it.
But coastal liberals love Frasier too much to get mad at him.
Yeah, it's this weird like camouflage he has going on right now.
That's crazy.
Just because he's in French Moliere.
And he got to be in a Disney movie, right?
This is the third time on Bottle episodes that David has called Frasier Moliere. I will be keeping track of all further mentions of Frasier as Moliere as David sees fit to mention them. You cannot mention Frasier without David saying it's just Moliere. Thank you for our new segment within an episode of Bottle episodes.
It's crazy that I know that the guy who played Jimmy Pesto on Bob's Burgers was at January 6th, and I don't know that Frasier's a Trump supporter.
Well, Kelsey Grammer had the good sense to not go to January 6th.
Is he tweeting about it?
He's
Probably
too busy
not.
paying people for it.
Yeah, probably.
I love the idea that Frasier as a radio host in Seattle has just become their fucking Rush Limbaugh. Like that's
That
a
would be
better
an interesting
show.
perspective for the reboot.
Yeah. Yeah, he just
And then what would it be, David? Huh? What would you compare it to then? Huh?
It'd be the war at home.
Okay.
Wait, is that the Tim Allen one?
No, that's Last Man Standing.
Oh, Last Man
The
Standing.
War at Home is one that we covered on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
With Michael Rappaport.
I have no idea what that is.
It's
It's a bad
Michael
sitcom.
Rappaport is a guy.
I know who that
Okay.
is. I saw that deep fake of him.
Michael Rappaport is the sort of guy that might say words that would cause someone to not air an episode of The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Rami Malek is also in that.
Yeah. Speaking of men who were playing straight for a little bit in a show, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
He's texting with this lady
No, he's not texting.
via like Morse
Telegraph.
code,
Mhm.
Yeah.
telegraph, and then
That actually is an interesting. I'm trying because we would have been at the start of like instant messaging and all of that online, right?
yeah, so that's what they're doing. AOL Instant Messenger. It's 98.
Do they end up using like AIM abbreviations or anything for comedic effect?
I think any of it's really picking
It's
up.
not picking up. Okay.
Well, you can edit that blank spot out.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
leave it in.
No, leave
Sorry, everybody. There was some sort of disagreement happening on the other side of the wall from where we are. I think I heard upstairs. I heard one person saying that their favorite episode of Desmond Pfeiffer is episode 3. Someone else is saying it's episode 6, and a fight broke out. So we had a bit of a pause in the action.
a kerfuffle, if you will.
Perfuffle.
A Desmond kerfuffle.
Actually, that you do raise an interesting point. They should pronounce every silent letter in this show. That would be a great running
Yeah,
gag.
that is very
Desmond
funny.
Pfeiffer pronounced every silent letter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Knie, yeah, I'm in on it. Instead, by the way, I looked up the guy who was the guy who played Niblet, that was the guy's name is Niblet.
That's
Oh.
the manservant.
Yeah, the manservant Niblet.
Hmm.
Just the original cuckold.
That's
You
what
know-
the show should be called.
That was actually the first episode. It's Desmond Pfeiffer fucking Niblet's wife.
Yeah.
You do fuck her so much better, sir. That was his second role. His first one was in a video game in 1994, and then he was in 6 episodes of this, and then it's just been a character actor ever since.
Well, I mean, he's working.
Still, somehow,
Good for him.
against all odds, he keeps going.
You think anybody ever comes up to him and is like, "Weren't you Niblet?"
God, that would be a dream for me to do. If I ever know I'm going to meet this guy, that's what I'm going to do.
Weren't you 1998 Niblet?
I was 6 and I loved that show.
I want to take a full bite of Niblet. You should hit on him.
The only
People are hitting on
VHS
him
tape
every day.
the only VHS tape I had was that in one episode of Homeboys in Outer Space, which I believe was deleted.
Yeah, Homeboys. Oh my God. Really?
I think so.
That is, it's why it's still like, I can't get over just how horny this show was.
Oh, it's great.
Because he's like, no one will have sex with me. I'm Abraham Lincoln, which, yes, untrue.
Mhm.
And then you follow that up with that Mary Todd Lincoln coming in and being like, if only someone would ravish me.
Yeah.
This is a show about a 6'4" man with immense power that no one will sleep with. That's what this show is.
Big plot hole.
Yeah.
As big as the hole in his head.
Yeah. Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Too soon after we watch the show.
No, just generally. I think another 300-400 years, then you can make that joke.
Oh, okay. We have to let it get to like
Yeah.
Pharaoh levels.
Yeah.
I guess that's not Pharaoh levels.
No, but it's closer.
I don't know. I feel like we can make like the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand joke.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's
leave Abe alone. It's fine. Here's the reason you can make jokes about Archduke Franz Ferdinand, but not Abe Lincoln, because Abe was still horny when he was assassinated. He never got to release himself. So it's not cool to make jokes about it, dude.
Yeah, it was an erotic play he was
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah. Our American Cousin? Come on.
Yeah.
It was the theatrical remake of Body Heat.
Yeah. So Abe doesn't deserve to be made fun of. He was in a tough spot. You know, he'd been very distracted by the Civil War and he never got to get out of his funk.
He was just unable to do anything but not fuck.
Can I pitch a different name for the show? How Abe got his groove back.
How Abe learned to stop fighting a civil war and get his groove back.
Yeah.
Scene from the back of him using like a Nickelodeon with one hand and jerking off with the other hand would be great.
That's why those ones in the episodes they couldn't air.
Yeah.
The lost episodes.
I love the idea of the lost episodes are actually just these filthy maniac episodes.
They're all filthy maniac. At least the two we watched are.
That's true. They
but
are.
I would assume
absolutely...
they all are, since it's very clearly just meant to be at like making fun of the Lewinsky thing.
But what's weird about them trying to make fun of the Lewinsky thing is because he is not good at, like, that is the one thing that's kind of known about Bill Clinton, is that he's good at getting laid.
Yeah.
Like, that is like what we know about Bill Clinton. And this character
It's very Al Gore.
He's so bad at it. He's just like, he's aimlessly horny and just can't do anything about it. This is actually what hurt Al Gore's chances of becoming president.
Abe's inconvenient truth is his inability to get laid. I'm warming up just like the globe. We gotta fix both of them, everybody.
Too hot, and we might melt down.
But yeah, so this normally we kind of get in depth on the plot, but this is just a lot of Abe answering steamy telegraph messages.
Let's not forget about the South.
They intercept them. They think it's intel for the war.
No, they're there to surrender. The South is ready to surrender their position, and they can't get through to Abraham Lincoln because he's too horny and sexting all day and night. There's never a time where the line is open. That is the plot of this show.
Jesus, Abe. Jesus.
That is and then when they finally get through, they just intercept the sex, and then it starts coming through of like, I'm going to give you a flogging like you'd ever seen, or whatever was. I don't remember exactly what the line was.
There's a lot of toe stuff. There was a lot of foot jokes in this. He was a footman.
Yeah,
It did lead to Niblet giving Mary Todd a pedicure.
Oh, you're right. I totally. Yeah, I love it. You've really zoned in on this foot thing.
Well, I think that's what separates him from Clinton. I can't see Clinton being a foot guy. He's a big, meaty Midwestern tit guy.
I think he's not actually picky. I think anything that comes his way.
Sure, but I just don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's like going for.
But you don't go for.
I just want everyone to know that as we started talking about feet guys, David reclined and put his feet very close to us.
This is actually a
We're
Chris
sitting
test.
on one side of the room, and then David put his little feet on display for us to try to entice us, and I'm not having it. Okay, he's gone too far. He's removed his sock. That's too much. Too much. Feeling a bit Abe Lincoln now. Please put that back on.
Technically at work, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, dude. Come on.
We're technically at work.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out the podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Tell a friend about it. We've gotten some episodes starting to light up, so someone's telling friends, or the internet's, doing its thing. Who knows? Anyway, check us out on there. Follow me at DPIC Comedy. Follow Chris at Chris from Brooklyn and Daniel at Daniel F. Crow. Check out my special Goblin King on YouTube. I'm posting clips there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. So this will live on in perpetuity as a sentence I will have to keep with. And also check out Chris's podcast, The High Society Radio, and Notes of a Goon podcast. So you can check both of those out. Check out Chris on Instagram as Chris from Brooklyn. I think I already said that. But anyway, back to the show.
Anyway, let's go back to talking about horny Abraham Lincoln at our job.
That we get paid a lot for. We make, guys, everybody, if you're listening, we got $40,000 to do this episode. UPN paid us, hoping it would get the views up.
They're trying to get a big Tubi sponsorship.
For the Desmond Pfeiffer reboot.
No, they're just going to make a fortune on the well, they're going to release the unreleased episodes.
The foot vids.
Yeah. Anyway, so then there's just back and forth of him sending telegraphs and Chi McBride going, "You can't send a telegraph."
Yeah, and the telegraphs are getting so steamy that he has broken both his hands sexting so hard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he broke both his hands. He was just sexting so hard that he broke both of his little poor hands, telling the South that they're going to get whopped. And then then they're going to go meet at a bar. He's decided he's going to go cheat on his wife.
The anonymous person he's been telegraph sexting.
Yeah, he's going to go. He's like, it's too hot. Got to go for it. And then he goes to the bar. And then also, it's Mary Todd Lincoln. She's been sexting him.
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
That's the whole point
That's
of that.
the plot of this episode.
That's the plot of that song.
Ugh. I was hoping we were going to sing the whole chorus. You kind of ruined
If you look making love at midnight.
If you have half a brain.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, that song is such a fucking It's also one of those things like where half of the points in if you like pina colada song is like just jabs at his wife.
It also describes the ending of the Shawshank Redemption. Because if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, come with me and escape. He escapes from prison, and then when he's out of prison, he gets caught in the rain, and then he goes to a beach and he meets Morgan Freeman, and guess what? It was where you drink pina coladas.
And he did escape.
He did escape.
That is solid.
That's the ending of the Shawshank Redemption,
Sound
dude.
logic. Wow, I love that we now know that the Shawshank Redemption is plagiarism.
It really sucks that the people that would really appreciate all these jokes stopped listening when we almost said the N-word a couple of times at the beginning.
I never got close.
No, I didn't
speak
get
for
close.
yourself, you monster.
None of us got close to
I
saying
was
the N-word.
nowhere near it. Who do you think I am, Ken Burns?
Is this right? Insert the clip of Ken Burns saying the N-word.
I don't know if the clip is online, but I saw him do it in person.
I mean, didn't he direct a documentary called Unforgivable Blackness?
Hey, man, I think we've been a bit hard on Ken this episode.
What was the documentary about Jack Johnson?
Yeah.
I think that was Ken
Ken
Burns.
burned.
Yeah. I would like to know, Ken, if you're listening, I know that in this conversation I saw you give, it was a historical context and you were not doing anything malicious. However, you can't say that with that bowl cut of yours. You just can't say it,
I
Ken.
forgot how bad his hair was.
He looks like one of the Ramones went to business school.
He looks like he's really into baseball.
Yeah.
Man, Ken Burns really catching a couple foul balls in this one.
He's catching a lot, yeah. He's catching a lot.
Strays. Okay, so back to Desmond Pfeiffer. The whores are back in town.
That's not the name of the episode. Is that the name of the episode? I was going to say.
No, it's not.
But that's the premise of the episode.
Once Upon a Mistress.
Okay.
Once Upon a Mattress, if we've ever, that old musical.
I need you to get your mind out of the gutter.
It's a musical.
Your
about
mind's
the Princess
still in
and
the
Pea.
gutter.
That's also true. We did watch a show about horny Abraham Lincoln.
News to me.
So in this episode, Abraham Lincoln has dignitaries visiting.
Dignitaries with no dignity.
Literally. We got Italy, Greece, France, Russia, and their mistresses.
Yeah.
Greece, of course, being quite gay.
Oh, yeah. Bringing a male. Yeah, and, yep, that's basically the episode. No, no, they bring up, and Lincoln's like, what's going on here? They all brought their wives. They're like, buddy, no. These are whores for us to fuck.
Yeah.
We're kings of other nations. That's what we do.
And then Abe was like, I didn't know people cheated on their spouses. It's a new idea to him, even though he
Wow.
tried to do it in an earlier episode.
But he failed.
He failed, so it doesn't
But
count.
he didn't seem to understand the idea, even though he already tried.
Well, what he didn't understand is that you could do it with women not online.
What happened in the 4 episodes between the one we watched and this one?
I don't know. Lincoln was horny, probably.
Marriage counseling
Yeah.
just for a couple episodes.
Just Lincoln trying to figure it out. Like, why?
Desmond Pfeiffer is so relevant in his own show.
He really is.
He doesn't do anything in these.
So,
He's the shrink?
We did forget about the whole toe ring, because that's why they were stealing, because he had the ring box.
Oh,
in the pilot.
yeah.
That was the whole.
And then she's so fat she couldn't fit a ring that fit on Chi McBride's finger on her finger.
Yeah.
That was so she had to wear it as a toe ring.
Yep. Yeah. And then he tried to get it off while she was in the tub. But also, he ran the risk of seeing her naked from there, and that was also a problem.
Yeah. This not particularly fat woman.
She's just a normal woman.
Yeah.
It's the idea that Mary Todd Lincoln sucks is like, that's the whole premise that they're going with.
She is kind of a downer in everything I've seen where they portray Lincoln and she's around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's definitely, I've not done enough research into it, but the more I think about it, there's definitely just some sexism of like a woman who is probably also like kind of mentally ill.
I mean, you have to be mentally ill to be in this show.
Oh, you mean the woman, the woman in the show?
Well, yeah, it's separate from Mary Todd.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
Well, she's the only woman I know with Todd in her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
know any other women Todds.
Well, I guess you could have Todd in your name. It could be
Such
like
as?
Mary Todd away.
No, I mean, like, Todd seems to be her middle name.
Yeah. Maybe it's her grandfather.
Yeah, they didn't
Mm.
have hyphen names back then.
Yeah.
They didn't invent the technology wasn't there yet. They didn't have hyphen technology yet.
Some tells me they didn't do that. It could be the president's wife with a hyphenated last name.
Yeah, she doesn't know if she's in it for the long haul.
That's true.
Well, she wasn't.
I believe also divorce was illegal back then.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems back in
Marital
society.
rape illegal.
Divorce less so.
Yeah.
I think you could get divorced for a while before. I don't know, actually.
We never saw it in an episode of this. Can I pitch an episode to you that I feel confident happens, even though I haven't watched them all? There's an episode where Abe divorces Mary Todd but then realizes he loves her again, so they're going to remarry. So Desmond and Niblet throw him a bachelor party. That's a perfect episode of this show.
Yeah, they almost get divorced and they have like a fake bachelor party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remarry Todd Lincoln.
There you go.
Boom. Pitch the episode.
Bring it,
Okay.
reboot, let us do this.
So Chi McBride and team are like, oh, you can't fuck a prostitute. He's like, I'm going to try and fuck a prostitute. I'm Abraham Lincoln. I get to have sex with escorts, just like the King of France. Also, why is it still king? I guess it would have been kings. You're right. That would have been the time period. Emperor of France.
Yeah, that might be correct, right?
I'm not arguing.
Yeah. So then they go through and they're like all the dignitaries make fun of him for not being able to fuck.
Yeah, for not having a mistress.
Yeah, they bully him.
Yeah.
They bully poor little Abe.
For being unable to get a hoe.
They said, "What are you, a sissy?" and then apologize to the gay guy.
Yeah. It's classic 90s
Yeah.
for sure.
I guess it is slightly progressive for the 90s that they apologized. I guess this was a good show.
You're back on board? I'm trying to think what else even happens in this episode exactly.
There's a bowling subplot.
Oh.
that's this episode. Yeah,
That's right. They're in the bowling alley for a second time we've seen Chi McBride bowl.
You're right.
Well,
Yeah.
also, these are the Kingpin
Yeah,
guys,
weird.
and they made another bowling thing.
What?
This is the Kingpin guys. And
Oh
they
yeah.
made another bowling thing.
That's what they had available.
Yeah.
They're like, I know a set we could get for cheap.
What a weird
but it
insight
wasn't.
to
It was
their soul.
It was candlestick bowling. It was like old timey wooden pins and shit.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so yeah, so they have a bowling. I forgot about the bowling thing. Yeah, Mary Todd's like, what's going on with this racket?
Yeah.
And then
Well, there's also the entire subplot of Ulysses S. Grant being the world's greatest bowler.
And give him a spinoff, please.
Yeah. But then they also are they won't reveal the reason why he refuses to bowl.
Did you know that the S stands for strike?
I swear to God, I watched this last night and my brain has blocked out half of this.
Yeah, so they reveal at the end that the reason he promised his grandmother on her deathbed that he would never bowl again. And they're like, why? They're like, because the bowling ball fell in her head when she was cleaning the closet. And that's why she was on her deathbed. Was the reason why he wouldn't. There's also Halloween in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he shows up to the bowling alley dressed like Dracula.
I believe drunk Ulysses S. Grant wrote this episode.
The ghost of Ulysses S. Grant. And I'm great at bowling. But I can't show you guys because it killed my grandmother. Bowling ball hit her on the head. I promised her. She's like, through her mush concussion mouth, said, no more bowling. Or alcoholic.
I don't really remember how it wraps up. I just know through some manner of bowling, they are cool with him not sleeping with a prostitute.
He goes, that's right. They do a bowling match. That's how it all wraps around. They both, they're doing a bowling match.
Oh, it was for aid to continue the Civil War. That's what it was. That's why they were there.
No, okay. I'm back on it now. We'll just edit around a lot of this.
Nah, leave it all in.
Who cares? It's still more coherent than the show.
That's part of the problem, really.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, fine. Actually, I don't think it's cool to fuck prostitutes. Or
the moral of the show. Hey, kids, if you're ever president, let this be a lesson to you.
No, he was gonna try and fuck one of the teams. He was gonna fuck one of theirs, wasn't he?
No, this is what happened.
Okay.
He chases them off somehow. Right.
That's what it was. Okay, now I remember. Fuck.
He offends the mistresses and they leave.
No, it's not even he offends them. They send him a mistress. They give him a present. They're like, Lincoln, here's your mistress. Get on board. Come join the team. We're having sex with prostitutes. That's what leaders do. Clinton scandal. He got a blowjob. Did you guys hear about this?
No? Wait, what? What happened?
All presidents.
The guy from Arsenio?
Also, why not?
Guy?
At this point,
who would think he likes
That
getting
doesn't
blown?
sound like him.
just do it with JFK.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a much better show with JFK and his weird black manservant. But okay, anyway. I'm trying to think of who JFK's Desmond Pfeiffer would be.
Well, Desmond Pfeiffer wasn't a real historical figure, right?
Yeah, but we're making the show the same.
Okay, so it would just still be Desmond Pfeiffer.
No, it'd be the third.
Yeah, the third. That was probably their plan. They were like, so Lincoln will die at the end of the first season, and then it picks up with
Kennedy and Desmond Pfeiffer the third.
Or they do
Same actor.
Or they do McKinley. He was also assassinated. And then you do a Garfield season as well.
Harding? Was Harding assassinated?
No, I don't think so.
Just a quick, they do a Christmas episode with the guy who died in 30 days.
Yeah.
Just different. This is like the worst Lee Daniels play.
Lee Daniels, Desmond Pfeiffer.
Oh, yeah. Didn't that come out around the same time, The Butler?
No, The Butler came out like 2013.
Yeah.
It's like 15, 16 years
I
after
just
this.
remember seeing the commercials for it and immediately thinking of this show.
You're the only person who had memory of this show to connect the dots.
Forrest Whitaker was not nearly as established of an actor when Desmond Pfeiffer came out. Because he was, he could have auditioned for this for all we know.
Well, he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
And then when did Ghost Dog come out?
A couple of years after this.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he could have technically.
He could have auditioned. It's unlikely.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Chai McBride just seems like he works. It doesn't really. He's talented enough that he can get work, and he just picks it up. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, and that's not really for him to decide.
I'll decide this was bad.
No, but I mean, he's just working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What did he do before this?
I mean, he's been in a lot of.
No, but I mean, like, what was his last consistent job? Like, I think you just take a network television job.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm like.
Because you're thinking, like, he probably just turned on UPN and was like, I don't know. Well, Malcolm and Eddie's in its 7th season. I feel like we can get 2 out of this.
Also, yeah, he had been in the John Larroquette show for like 84 episodes right before this.
Oh, did he play the janitor?
I don't know. I've never seen it. Heavy Gene?
I think so. Either that or like there was, I think.
But yeah, he was like, no, that's the thing is, I don't think he needed to be in this necessarily, but he was out of a job for 2 years and you work.
Yeah.
And his name was the title guy. How do you not do that role? I'm with you. I'm on board.
Yeah. He needed to keep his fucking SAG benefits up.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, but that's what I'm saying. Chad McBride just works. Like, he'll just be in stuff.
But not our podcast.
Did you invite him?
And we pay? Do we pay?
I've been sending anonymous letters to his home. And look,
And they're filled with cocaine. I don't know why he won't open them.
Some people might say they seem threatening.
But my handwriting's terrible. I
Yeah.
have to use clippings for the magazines I
Yeah.
own.
They all just say, Chai, it's time. And I figured he knew what it meant.
Trying to sip some of that chai tea.
Yeah. Anyway, they
So
bowl.
they bowl. So what happens is I remember now because it's Lincoln. He convinces he's like, because for all Lincoln's horny posturing, he doesn't actually want to get laid. That's the whole thing. So he doesn't
then
want.
what is the point of the show?
Because that's the joke. Is he wants to, but he doesn't. Because that's how
Like
a
Al
good
Bundy.
person- Yeah, exactly.
It's just Married with Children, but Lincoln.
Which is what a pitch for a
Like
show.
Desmond Pfeiffer is just Griff.
They really have just fully done Married with Children, and that's awful. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Is like when you said you at least knew who the audience for Home Improvement is. It's like the audience for Kingpin and Married with Children is not going to watch a show. They're not turning on UPN. SmackDown hasn't existed yet.
I wish it had, and they had sent on the guy playing Abe Lincoln to promote it.
Honestly, I wish they had done Michael Rappaport as Abe Lincoln.
Honestly, yeah.
Just cater it to that demo. But yeah, so Abraham Lincoln, he talks the woman. He's like, you know what? I just respect you too much. You deserve better than this or whatever. And the woman's like, you know what? You're right. I do. And then she talks to all the other whores and they all leave together.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm using this term because that is how the TV show is treating them. They are not.
Well, literally a girl, when they go to was it the first episode or this episode where they go to a bar?
Yeah.
And
This
he's
is
just
the first
like,
episode.
what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm a whore.
Oh, yeah. Like, that is the level of respect it is treating these women with. It is fully like, they're just like, this is what's happening. And it is treated as fact in a really gross way.
Yeah, it's just established. These are whores.
Yeah. But so they're mad at him. And then he's like, well, I still need their funds for my military. So you fund me and my military conquest for the Civil War, or conquest, my fight for the Civil War in America. Or if I lose, you guys all get to fuck my wife, Mary Todd Lincoln.
But here's the thing: is we're missing yet another subplot in this episode. Is that Niblet had discovered a magic potion?
Oh
that
yeah, I
grows
forgot.
tits.
I forgot about the tit
So
potion.
she has giant tits in this episode.
Yeah,
And he also has
His giant tits. Yeah, she had like a hangover or something.
Yeah,
And so he's like, I got the remedy right here.
yeah,
And then he gave them both giant tits.
yeah.
And Niblet was having a ball with it. He was gripping himself every way he could.
They asked him at the Halloween party what he was supposed to be, and he said the happiest man in America.
Yeah. He just was fully actively grabbing his own. Do you
I
think
forgot about this, and I'm going to be upfront with you. I watched these like months ago when we were going to record this, and it just fell through, and I forgot that was a subplot, and I'm in pain remembering that was in the show.
Dude, it's so much going on in
my
both
brain
of these episodes.
blocked it out?
Think about just this fourth episode, the amount of plots. 1, he needs to get funds for the Civil War. 2, he needs to fuck a whore. 3, it's Halloween for some reason. 4, Niblet grows giant tits on himself and Mary Todd Lincoln. 5, it all wraps up with the bowling scene from the beginning.
Also, Ulysses S. Grant is there, and he refuses to bowl.
He refuses
Yeah.
to bowl.
That's
yeah.
another subplot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, my brain fully blocked out
22 minutes.
tits on Niblet.
And in between, it's just nonstop Slim Jim commercials, I assume. Just Macho Man shouting for 3 minutes in between every scene.
Snap into it, guys. So yeah, and so they eventually they're bowling back and forth with the world leaders, and then Lincoln loses, but they're like, you know what? We actually don't want to fuck your wife because her tits are back
Oh yeah,
to
no, her tits just become regular tits again, and they were like gross.
yeah. That's not what we wanted at all.
Yeah.
And Lincoln's not into it anymore. And Niblet's so sad because he's lost the two best friends he's ever had. Then they still just fund the war.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, because they won at bowling. Ulysses S. Grant shows up dressed as Dracula and hits the 7-10 split.
Right. Oh yeah. Right.
So they have to, because Desmond Pfeiffer has told them that they don't duel in America. They settle all disputes in a bowling alley.
Yes. All right. I'm glad we figured out what that episode was about.
Yeah.
I don't like my brain. Yeah, would not absorb it as
Still better than
information.
any episode of Home Improvement. I stand by that.
I will give them credit for having Ulysses S. Grant as a vampire.
Yeah.
Which Home Improvement never had.
Not once.
I mean, they tried. It got written right out of the room. It was Pam Anderson as Ulysses as vampire.
Do we think the second episode is an improvement?
A home improvement.
Boo! Sorry, that was just me doing a ghost sound for Halloween.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. It's the same show. It hasn't
it's
improved at all.
Yeah, it's
They've not
very
tried to-
neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel, how would you improve the show?
Oh, boy. I would put it on the WB instead of
Okay,
UPN.
okay.
That way, at least we have the cool frog every now and then doing a little song. And, that's worth watching when you'd see the frog be like, hello, my darling. Hello.
Yeah, just
and-
right in the bottom.
Yeah, just put him in the bottom corner, and then you can focus on him instead of the show. There might be people listening that are not aware of what WB and UPN even were. They were two separate networks that merged to become the CW.
Honestly, I would love to watch a CW version of Desmond Pfeiffer.
Just a bunch of hot 20-year-olds.
Oh, he's
Show me-
Gossip Girl. And
Yeah.
hot, horny Lincoln.
Honestly, yeah, that would be a funnier show.
I would love that. Like CW.
But as long as we
reboot.
keep the WB frog in the bottom corner, I'm into it.
I'm just thinking about all the shows I want to CW reboot
Yeah.
into like just hot, like the shows we've done before that should just be CW reboots. Lancelot Link, Secret Chimp.
Secret Chimp.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy.
The entire cast was monkeys.
What? All right, I'm watching that.
You can. It's available. It's around on YouTube.
Nice.
Ken Burns' Civil War is what I'm recommending for
Okay.
a show.
Chris, what do you want to? How would you improve the show? What do you want to recommend?
All right, so I'm going to say this. I don't think you can make like an actual great show out of this premise, but I think this show could find an audience with people who like a quirky thing. If you just made it like Office style, like mockumentary style about this, and then like every once in a while, Chi McBride just looks at the camera like Jim.
I love your proposal for a mockumentary set before
Oh,
cameras
yeah.
existed.
Yeah, I think
That's
I think that's even funnier.
Yeah. It's great, actually.
It's a Ken Burns style documentary
Yeah.
of just a guy writing in a diary the whole time as he walks and follows people.
Yeah.
It's just, I love the idea. It's a documentarian just literally
Yeah.
describing the entire time as it goes around, and then just occasionally Chi McBride looks at him being like, "Can you believe Lincoln said that?" Yeah, not horny enough. That's what I think the show.
Well, you have to recommend a show.
All right, I'll recommend a show that didn't get picked up that I just watched the other day. There's only one episode, and it's The Amazing Screw-On Head. It's on YouTube. It was Mike
Okay.
Mignola who created Hellboy. The art looks like that. It's a cartoon, and it's like steam. I think Lincoln is a character in it as well.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay, and to improve the show, I kind of already said it, but I think JFK would have been the way to go. Because that's a great horny president.
I think that is too soon at the time.
I think it wasn't soon enough.
I think.
You know what? That's
well,
fair.
To be fair,
As
this
like
is
an
pre
assassin-
9/11, so it's the last American tragedy.
You're right. And he was like an assassinated president
Yeah.
to make as horny as they were going to make him. Okay, different president, though. Let's go Taft.
No. LBJ.
LBJ cross-dressing?
LBJ was also famous for being well
Huge-
endowed.
Huge dick.
Yeah.
Cross-dresses. Okay, I mean, first of all, we should just do a different series about LBJ, like an actual fun one. But then we'd get assassinated by the CIA.
Yeah, they're really still trying to protect his legacy.
You don't think they're trying to protect his legacy?
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to make... Hey, CIA, I'm on a podcast making fun of Lyndon Johnson. If you got a problem with it, you know where I live.
I would recommend the X-Men 97 cartoon. It's so good.
I haven't checked it out yet.
Thanks for listening, CIA. Have a good one.